on to our next subject, Palestine. What I found out recently, there was this striking similarity in the media here in Belgium, in France, the UK, United States, of the use of words, of the phrasing, the framing of this recent murder of this Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh, which is hardly an exceptional thing. Phrases like, she died during violent incidents, passive sentences, I don't know if that's a grammatical correct term in English, no subject, no hint of suspicion. How do you explain that after all these years, governments and media remain so loyal to this narrative where Israel is portrayed as defensive, sometimes going too far, what then passes as criticism? All this goes on while public opinion has changed dramatically all over the world. How do you assess this state of affairs? Is the Israel lobby, as it is called, really that strong, or is there something else the matter? And what can we do to make the media change their narrative?
Well, what happened with the Shireen Abu Akleh is pretty amazing. Not just the assassination. It's almost, there's some uncertainty, but it's almost certain that it was a careful assassination by a sniper group. But quite apart from that was the attack on the funeral. The funeral procession was attacked by Israeli soldiers. They even attacked the casket. That made news all over the place. It was reported in Israel. You want to know what's going on in Israel? The best source is Haaretz, the main newspaper, pretty open and free. The major correspondent, Gidon Levy, wonderful journalist who reports the West Bank daily, he described it pretty frankly. He said, Israeli stormtroopers attacked, not only killed her, but attacked the funeral procession and even forced the pallbearers to drop the casket. Okay, that's what happened. Well, is that the worst that's going on? No, it's nothing. We're supposed to be concerned about the possibility that Russia might occupy Ukraine. Well, pretty remote possibility. Are we concerned about the possibility that Israel illegally annexed the Syrian Golan Heights, Greater Jerusalem, in direct violation of Security Council orders, and has carried out brutal, murderous operations in all of the occupied territories, including those illegally annexed, which is where Shireen was killed, in the illegally annexed occupied territories? That's defensive, carrying out an illegal annexation and 50 years of brutal, violent terror, all in violation of Security Council orders. That's defensive. Well, I should say that under Trump, the United States broke from the rest of the world and authorized the illegal annexations. That's Trump. That's the Republican Party today. You want to look at the future? Honestly, take a look at what happened in Hungary last week. Okay, quite important. There was a conference in Hungary of all the far right organizations and factions in Europe, with many with neo-fascist origins. But the star of the meeting was the core of the Republican Party. Hungary is worshipped by the Republican Party. Trump made a speech honoring his great friend, Viktor Orban, who's destroying Hungarian democracy. Tucker Carlson, the leading media figure, made a speech. The Republican, what's called the conservative action, Congress was the main element in present there. That's the core of the Republican Party. That's what's coming back into office, controlling Congress in November, this November, probably the presidency in 2024, because one of the things they're doing very publicly and actively is trying to undermine American democracy, to prevent voting of people they don't like, to make it either to restore Jim Crow laws, to impose electoral monitors who will throw out election results if they don't like them. All of that's happening quite openly and supported by a very reactionary Supreme Court, most reactionary court. You have to go way back to pre-Civil War days to find something like it. This is not happening in Andorra or Luxemburg. It's happening in the most powerful country in human history, which dominates most of the world.